Hey there, this is Dr. Corey Gilbert, and I wanted to share with you today some information about kind of what marriage is and isn't, and just a phrase that it's actually going to be really powerful to think through the health of your marriage and your relationship. This is a picture of the best day of my life, 16 and a half years ago, when my wife and I got married, and what a journey it's been. It has been an incredible journey, and to be with someone that's your best friend, who's become even more of a best friend, is critical, as we talked about before. Well, let me show you what marital success is not about. And what this is actually kind of an analysis of a lot of stuff that's said about marriage in a lot of even Christian literature and a lot of psychologists and counselors that here this is from Everett Worthington, kind of talking through maybe we're missing something. We get obsessed about these little pieces, but maybe it's something even more simple, but also profound. And so how partners behave with each other is actually a really critical thing. And what you'll see in these next few slides is this idea that there's a statement, a way that we kind of try to fix things, and he's kind of saying, let's take a step back. So it's not about how partners behave with each other. It's about the emotional bond between spouses and how they respond to the challenges that produce stress hormones, angry attributions, and rumination, or that stimulate patterns from previous unhealthy relationships. That emotional bond is a critical phrase. So marital success is not about how partners behave with each other. Why is that important? Because a lot of time as a helper, as a counselor, coach, we just try to fix behaviors. I think in the church a lot of times we're good at kind of behavior modification without heart transformation. And so this is important. But hang in here and look at the next one. So marital success is not about training people to communicate effectively. And what's the answer? Well, it's similar. It's about restoring and creating an emotional bond that helps couples communicate well, expressing their affection, using compliments, and refusing to rise to provocations, which keep cortisol levels, attributions, rumination, and patterns from the past calmed. It's the emotional bond. Why is this important again? Because if we're not careful, we fall in the pattern of just training communication without heart change, without realizing that it's about my heart and yours tuning into each other, that emotional bond that then lowers cortisol levels and affects the way that we relate to each other. It's actually then how we fight. Third one, marital success is not about training people to manage conflict or resolve differences. We can teach skills all day about this. And he's saying, it's about creating an emotional bond that makes people want to stifle negative reciprocity, end arguments peacefully and positively, have more positive than negative interactions, and treat their spouse as a precious gem. John Gottman's research even shows a healthy marriage has a 5 positive to 1 negative ratio. When a couple divorces, it's a 0.07 positive to 1 negative ratio. What's the barometer? What can we take away right there? If you're having more fights than you are having good times, you're in trouble. If you're not having drastically more good times than difficult times, you're in trouble. It should be at least 5 to 1 if you put it into numbers, which is interesting. So training people to just manage conflict or resolve differences isn't the issue. It's the heart issue of emotional bond that I want to not make you my enemy, that I want to end things in arguments quicker, faster, mutually really important. Another one. Marital success is not about training people how to confess transgressions and forgive. Yes, this is important. He's saying careful as to it being the answer. It's about helping couples develop an emotional bond that makes them want to humbly mirror the forgiveness that they have received from a merciful and loving God. It makes them want to repair damage to the emotional bond versus what some do, which is dig in their heels and they have to be right. That's not a good place to be. And I hope these are something that's helpful to you to think through, because sometimes a lot of what we read or what we hear points towards these behavior modification things and they miss the heart. I want you to want to fix it. You may not feel it, but you desire something bigger, and so you do it. The behaviors come, the changes come, the change in conflict comes, the ability to play comes. Why? Because my internal barometer or way that I am bent towards is I'm going to lean towards you because I love you. I'm choosing that. And I pray and hope that that happens for you and that you can actually help and teach others to do the same. God bless you and your marriage, and may you have a healthy marriage.